I remember my childhood. Whenever I used to come back home, my mother would spring a surprise by making a plate of Semia Upma because it used to be my favorite dish. It still is.
Yeah, this is lip smacking. The very aroma reminds me of those days when my mom used to surprise me with a plate of ade. Reminds me of those days when I used to look forward to a plate of ade when I come back home tired from school. Yes, this is what we call as almost the homemade food. Hats off to Feeding Frenzy.
We get to taste all our childhood favorites. You know what? You as a guest is really special on the show because you're the first person from Gujarati origins telling me that you love spicy food.
Yes, we always love spice, especially anything with South Indian food. We really love it.
So what are your favorites in South Indian food apart from ade?
Ade is my own favorite. Apart from that, my family loves idli, especially the sambar idli, the small ones. And my son's favorite is ghee roast. My daughter's is also ghee roast. So anything to do with dosas and idlis, we love it.
I know, especially when I go abroad, the first thing that I'll miss is idli or dosa. I'll be looking for an Indian
Don't even tell me that. The first thing we will be looking out is for some Madras cafe.
True.
Where we could get, if we are lucky, garlic rasam.
I know.
We just love it.
Now the Semia Upma is exactly like the way my mom would prepare it, except that my mom would add extra tomatoes because I love tomatoes.
Now, you should come to know that it is my favorite dish too, and I prepare it very well. My children just love it. Yes.
Okay, when are you preparing it next?
Anytime.
I
You just have to
my
tell
phone
me.
number. So how's the ade? Is it as close to what your mom would prepare?
Yes, it takes me back to those days when I really used to love it. She used to surprise me with ade. So it's good. It tastes good.
So did you learn the art of preparing South Indian items from her?
And from my mother, and to a great extent from my mother-in-law. You'll be surprised to know she just loves South Indian food. Given a chance, I would like to just tell you an incident that happened after my engagement when we went out for the dinner for the first time. We were a group of youngsters and we all sat together, but my parents-in-law sat separately. They were like, I was surprised. I just called them over. They said, no, we are comfortable here. Then they said, we are going to take only idlis and dosa. I was so surprised. I said, we are all going in for North Indian. She said, no, we are very happy. Let it be a 5-star or anywhere else. They always prefer South Indian food. Wow. So that's how I slowly got into this groove of enjoying the food more. Though we love even make at home regularly. So that's how I learned the art of doing it.
Since you say you love spicy food and I like tomatoes, I think they've offered us a small little surprise over here.
Oh yeah, I don't mind trying it.
Okay. So this was what I was talking about. You should try this.
Yeah. Real good taste. You must be enjoying this. It's a lot of tomatoes.
I know, I can only see tomatoes.
And I can only taste the spiciness in this.
I think they've added a tinge of turmeric powder.
With lots of coriander, so it tastes really yummy. And it's a good combination with ade. It's a change from the usual chutney and sambar.
Rekha's love for the place grew more and more with every bite, reminding her of her Amma's Samayal. Alm Pranavam in Tiruvannur stands out not just for its tiffin items and meals, but also for its name. ALM.
The ALM, my mom's name is Alamelu, so we abbreviated to ALM. Pranavam means, as we all know, Om Mantra, it's called the Pranavam Mantram, So that's why we named the restaurant Alm Pranavam. So we started this back in 2007. So we have been running this very successfully for the last 4 years.
Rekha and I quickly moved from that rather heavy starter to another heavy main course. Rekha was curious to taste a North Indian dish in a South Indian mess. So, she had in front of her a plate of chola puri. And I stuck to the South Indian version of parathas, the parota kurma, and Alm Pranavam's sweet touch of love came in the form of a tumbler of semia payasam. So I'm here with my parota. I generally don't like kurma much, but then this place, their most famous dish, most popular dish is parota and kurma. So I just thought I'll give it a try.
Well, you should enjoy it when you like it, and same here. I'm not much of a fan of chola paratha or chola and chana, but I've also heard that this is really tasty here, and it reminds me of a son who just loves this. I just miss him here.
So now you know where to bring him when he asks you for chola puri.
I'm not going to tell him I had it.
My paratha is really soft. I expected those thick Kerala paratha kind of paratha. I generally wouldn't like it, you know, it's too thick and too hard by the time you tear it apart and eat it.
My puri is not that oily, surprising. Otherwise, I will be counting my calories right now.
Don't remind me about calories. I can already see ghee gleaming on my paratha.
Well, we should be enjoying this.
I know we will. And to add to our calories, we also have payasam. Most of the time, it's stuffed with semia, so you hardly find the milk. Over here, it's a fine balance.
I think you love anything to do with semia. Let it be semia upma or
Oh yes, I just realized.
Then I said you should be even liking this faluda then.
Yeah, I love faluda.
I'll remember that next time you come home.
Yes. The secret of feeling light despite a heavy meal lies in this decoction. Piping hot coffee and tea served as the perfect climax to a fast-paced, exciting and a satisfying meal. You know, Rekha is such a feeding frenzy fanatic that she has travelled all the way from Anna Nagar East to have filter coffee.
Yes, that's my little secret. But it's a sheer pleasure being here and enjoying all this South Indian food, especially this coffee. Anything for South Indian coffee.
Have you been to this side of the city?
Frankly speaking, no. We basically move around Anna Nagar, Kilpauk, maximum Egmore. But this is the first time recommended by one of my friends. So really, I think it was worth the visit coming all the way from Anna Nagar to Adyar.
Lovely. So what are your first impressions of the place?
As I stepped in, I felt it's such a small joint. I do not know how good the place is going to be, whether it's going to be neat, the food is going to be, good. But let me tell you, this place is spick and span, and it's such a pleasure to be here. The people are so warming. It's as good as having homemade food here.
If you want to have such homemade food in interesting places that you would never have known, all you have to do is answer this question on the Feeding Frenzy contest. Until then, hats off to a nice cup of tea and a nice cup of South Indian coffee.
Thank you.
What type of flour can be found in peanut butter, margarine, chocolate and ice cream? A. Besan flour, B. Rice flour or C. Oat flour? Send in your answers to feedback@ndtv-hindu.com.